Hello, everybody. Dance, Neil, dance.
Dance, Neil, dance. Put that magic Neil on me.
Snap that Neil. Make him free.
Hey, whoa. Too far. No. Don't smack that Neil. I don't, let's not, no.
Why is that even part of the lyrics?
I don't know. I always thought it was slap that baby, make him bleed. And I was like, no, don't slap the baby. Don't make the baby bleed.
Oh,
That's wrong.
That's amusing, the baby.
That is David Bowie on stage singing about baby abuse.
Tra-la-la.
Abusing babies, tra-la-la.
Oh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to, I guess, pre-reaction to the Game Awards?
Oh, man, yeah.
Essentially, me and Callum were talking, and we were like, you know what, there's some stuff we could talk about before the Game Awards comes out and we film our reaction. So we figured we'd do that now. We're going to go through all of the categories and say the nominees and who we think should win. Actually, no, we're not. We're not going through them all. We're going through the ones we cared about.
Yeah, we don't care about esports. Sorry, esports fans. Get out.
I mean, if Sonic Fox is nominated, I hope he wins. I like Sonic Fox. But, we don't care about VR games. We don't play VR games. So because of that, if we were to sit here and say, Trover takes over the world or saves the universe or whatever the fuck, we can't understand it. Our IQ isn't high enough. We're not Rick and Morty fans.
No.
We bow before you. We're just not smart enough.
Although, speaking of VR, I'll mention this briefly, and I guess this is another game that's announced for 2020. Half-Life Alyx may rejuvenate the passion for VR.
Maybe. I didn't actually know that was VR.
No, it's VR specific, apparently, and apparently they're finally making a Half-Life sequel. It's not quite Half-Life 3, but it's what the fans have been waiting for.
Well, it's something. I mean, I've said this so many times. I was like, hey, look, you're not getting Half-Life like anything, so if you get something, be happy.
Count your
and
blessings.
I guess that's what's happening.
Yeah.
But before we get into predictions on who should win, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Awards?
Bye-bye.
Meaning, and they have announced that there are at least 2, world premieres. 10, my bad. 2! There's gonna be 2 world premieres. There's gonna be 10. So, at least. So, me and Callum are gonna do a little bit of predicting and thoughts on what some of those things could be.
Prophesying.
Number 1, and this is probably the most likely. I'm gonna talk about this one first, because this is basically confirmed. Nintendo today said, hey, everybody, go and watch the Game Awards. And I was like, why you want us to watch the Game Awards, Mario? Why you want us to go see the Game Awards? I think you might be bringing something there. Why is Reggie Fils-Aimé going to be at the Game Awards, huh? Why is he going to be there, huh? So the next Smash Bros. Character is obviously going to get announced at the Game Awards. Now, the question is, who is this 5th Smash Brothers character?
And we're doing that first. Just get the elephant out of the room.
Yeah, we're getting it out. We're picking it up, holding it in the air. We're gonna flatter this element, and then we're gonna toss it outside, and poachers are gonna hunt it while we do the rest of the show. So, I've got a prediction, and I don't know if this is accurate, but if it is, I'm going to make Skylar Schaefer really happy. So, I legitimately believe the next character is going to be Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil.
Dude.
Well, here's the thing. They just announced a Resident Evil game yesterday. They announced a Spirit Pack for Resident Evil to go into Smash Brothers. And, frankly, I think that Resident Evil is obviously the next choice. Resident Evil 4 is one of the best games ever made. Leon's the main character of 4. Put Leon in there. Leon is basically the mascot. I understand wanting to do Jill Valentine or Kate or even Chris Redfield, but if you, honest to God, want people to buy this DLC and you want people to scream from the heavens that it's in the game, you gotta put Leon in there. And there's so much for a moveset, too. It'd be really cool to see Leon get in.
Like another Mega Man, except more zombie survival-oriented.
Well, here's the thing. There's plenty he could do. First of all...
Except he's got limited ammo.
This is kind of pie in the sky. What if he could summon the zombies as his move? Like, for example, what if his up B could, like, summon a liquor, and then the liquor's tongue could get you back on the stage?
Brilliant.
I'm just saying, or in classic Leon fashion, what if they come out of nowhere and attack Leon, but doing so they accidentally save him? Like, the liquor's attacking, but the tongue is used as a rope by Leon and he gets back on the stage. We could have Nemesis come out and charge Leon, but then they miss and hit the person behind Leon.
Or Mr. X, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. X could be the final smash.
Just punch everyone to oblivion. And perhaps they could have a few supporting characters, like the manic chainsaw guy, or the what you buying guy, and he could heal you up.
And also, if you want to leave all of Leon's like zombies out of it, just use Leon. He could have the dog from Resident Evil 4. He could have any of those weapons from the what you buying guy. I would love to see Leon's RPG make it into Smash Bros.
There's already an RPG in there, but that would be great.
Yeah, but I want Leon's RPG where he like fires it at you last minute and stops you from killing his girlfriend.
I suppose if Solid Snake can bring his RPG as a smash attack, why can't Leon?
Who do you think's gonna get in? Because I want it to be Leon because I have a friend whose favorite game series is Resident Evil, has loved it since a child, and he never thought Leon would get into Smash Bros. But if they do, I want to see this man cry with happiness.
Well, judging by those clues, by the Resident Evil stickers, and other whatnot, it's undeniably a clue of some sort that they've been involved with Resident Evil some way or another, that they've bought the rights to them, and they're bound to get them in the game, so that's kind of a...
They haven't bought the rights to them. Smash Bros. Doesn't own Resident Evil. Well, Nintendo doesn't.
Right, so why do they have the stickers? So I guess this is a clue to get Leon in the game.
Well, Leon is one of the stickers, so some people think it actually disconfirms him.
Oh, right, alright. There's all sorts of spirits, and there's plenty of things to keep in mind. I suppose all these guesses in general are just wishful thinking. I mean, it's good.
So you want Professor Layton. You want Professor Layton.
You read my mind. Yeah, Professor Layton. And he's a Nintendo-owned character, and he'd be a great representative for the DS systems. Aside from Villager, I don't see many DS representatives, unless they get Cooking Mama, some kind of support character, or even...
Don't tempt the gods. Don't tempt the gods. We don't want Cooking Mama. We don't.
Forget we said it. We will erase your memories. Poof.
Callum said, spooking the Bahamas. Put that in Smash.
Yes. He'd be a great character. I know people keep saying, not another sword fighter, but he'd be quite unique combined with his puzzle-solving skills and quirky inventions that he'd often use to get out of tricky situations throughout the games.
Honestly, I don't know if he would use his sword as much as people say, because for every time Professor Layton uses a sword, doesn't he use that stick he carries with him, like, more?
A stick? Wait,
doesn't he have a cane?
No, he doesn't have a cane.
Oh, I'm a dumbass. I'm thinking of someone else. Sorry, a lot of people would... oh, God, I'm thinking of Sherlock Holmes.
Close enough.
Well, okay, here's the thing. I don't know if he'd use the sword as much, because Professor Layton is all about puzzle solving, and it's established in Professor Layton's universe that magic exists. So maybe he could use stuff like that.
Aye. Yes, yes. I mean, so he could be a half serious, half joke character like Phoenix Wright was in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Mm.
Phoenix Wright was really decent, but he was kind of a joke character as well because most of his attacks were just as objections and finding the evidence and
Yeah, but
throwing
that is fucking awesome.
and throwing Maya at the people, which is quite funny.
Look, I'm just saying, if Phoenix Wright gets into Smash Bros, I won't mind.
I won't mind either. I mean, that's close enough, but Professor Layton just makes more sense because he's owned by Nintendo. He'd be a great representative of the DS systems, and whenever he needs to fight, he's a pretty good fighter.
I actually don't know if he's owned by Nintendo, but even if he's not owned by Nintendo, none of the DLC characters that have been in this pack are owned by Nintendo. None of them.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had Joker from Persona 5, Banjo-Kazooie, returning at last!
To the point where people are demanding Nintendo characters. Like, whenever people are like, we need more Nintendo, I'm like, who the fuck do you want from Nintendo? Like, everyone's already here. Do you really want them to make Waluigi playable?
Apparently so.
I mean, Waluigi and, what's his name? Gino are the two big ones I keep saying.
Yep. Last time we did this, there was one person who suggested Sam Fisher.
No, that's not gonna happen.
No. Again, it's all wishful thinking. Who else would be good characters?
Master Chief.
Master Chief. Oh yeah, that's a given.
Here's the thing. I have been saying this for a while.
You don't care about Halo.
Look back. Well, I don't care about Halo, but I also don't care who gets into Smash Bros. Because at this point, I have reached Smash Bros. Nirvana, where any new character is a good thing. But like I've already gotten everybody I like. I'm not greedy. I'm good. But, I legitimately believe that character number 5 needs to be the most surprising character. How do you do that when we have Banjo-Kazooie and Joker?
That's the start.
The only way I can really think of to do it is, well, okay, let's do Master Chief. Let's go do him.
And they might do as a few surprises as well. They've thrown in a few characters as costumes, like much to the fans.
Yeah, like
Sans from Undertale in the gunfighter suit. That had the fans ecstatic, and for good reason. I mean, the indie games are getting more and more recognition. First Shovel Knight, and now Undertale. We're on a roll.
Yeah, and Undertale even got like a music track in the game.
Alright.
But yeah, let's move on from Smash and go to another likely thing. So we don't know for sure, but with all the leaks and everything that has happened and the fact that it hasn't been announced yet, and the Game Awards are tomorrow, I think we might see the new Batman Arkham game that we know exists. So Callum doesn't actually know the theory on what the Batman Arkham game is, so I'm going to tell you. They released these images on Batman Day of, it's these 4 logos. And 3 of them look kind of similar, and 1 of them look completely different. The way I sort of reconciled is, the first 3 are the Court of Owls, and they're like different factions in the Court of Owls. That's what I came up with.
Oh.
But the last one is a demon. It looks like a demon.
Whoa.
And to me, that means the demon's head, which means Ra's al Ghul.
Whoa.
So, my thing is, okay, this is a prequel, probably after Arkham Origins, where Batman met the Court of Owls and the League of Shadows for the first time.
Alright.
There are also theories. I'll mention these. I don't know if they're real, but there are also theories. That's a nice shot of your ear, Cal.
Sorry, I was just checking my laptop.
There are also theories that it's not a Batman game, and it's actually a Bat family game that takes place after Arkham Knight, and the main character is Nightwing. And the
Now,
reason I would like that is because that means we could play as all the other characters. We could play as Jason Todd Red Hood. We could play as a Batwoman, Batgirl. We could play as maybe the Spoiler. Just throw everybody in there. We could play as fucking Alfred. Who cares? I'd play
everybody's
as Alfred.
here. Alfred. Brilliant.
Everybody is here, and it just shows Alfred holding a teacup. Alfred Pennyworth.
Justice will be served.
Commissioner Gordon. Condiment King.
Yep, he's a real person. Probably worth the Google.
Also, something that I kind of hope happens in this new Arkham game, there's always been these like DLC maps and shit. So something I hope that happens. We've sort of flirted with this idea. You could play as Deathstroke. You could play as Harley Quinn. You could play as Joker. We need to stop flirting. Make it where we can play as heroes and villains. There's 2 different modes, heroes and villains, and give them all cool movesets.
Now,
what I'm saying is, ladies and gents, I want to play as Clayface.
whoa.
Let me play as Clayface.
Now, the Arkham series is no stranger to letting you play as villains for little side quests. In Arkham Asylum, you get to play as Joker as well as Batman. In Arkham City, I think Catwoman kind of counts. In Arkham...
Catwoman loosely counts.
Hey, Mortis! Arkham Origins, it was Deathstroke. Arkham Knight, it was Harley Quinn and Red Hood.
Red Hood's not really a villain. My mic!
Attack the mic, cat person.
I love you.
Does that not give you rabies?
Probably. What the fuck do you think's wrong with me? Maybe it's rabies. I'm gonna grab a lemonade.
So, whilst Neil is grabbing the lemonade, I might as well discuss my own thoughts. So, this might be false, but again, it's just really cool that this sort of thing happened. Unless there were more clues, chances are they just made the logos just for the sake of making them cool. But on the other hand, this one logo, if it genuinely looks like it's from the games, then then chances are it might be an actual thing. And
I mean, the video was from WB Montreal, who is making the game.
Okay, that's the best. That's the next best clue. All right. In which case, this is legit.
Essentially, it was a shot of a bat signal in the sky, and then the video would like cut out, and within it was 4 logos.
Okay.
And 3 of them are definitely for the Court of Owls. One of them kind of looks like a talon. All of them look bird-like, and then the last one is clearly a demon.
Right. I hope facing the Court of Owls is really challenging because they are some of Batman's toughest enemies.
Well, the whole thing is the Court of Owls is everybody, and they're manipulating everything. They're a challenge to Batman on a level that the Joker and Two-Face just really can't be. Like, the whole fear of the Court of Owls is they're smarter than you, and they're everywhere.
Aye. But knowing Batman, he'll conquer all types of fears. He'll psychologically, physically, emotionally, spiritually, he'll conquer it all. And when in Arkham Knight...
Sexually.
Yeah, sexually too. In Arkham Knight, he managed to conquer all these fears to the point where he's practically unstoppable. Even...
And then he got stopped. He had to unmask himself. The Batman is dead. This is how it happened. The Batman died.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't played Arkham Knight.
It's like 5 years old now.
But Bruce Wayne's too smart to not kill himself off like that because there's apparently a new Batman who is just as terrifying as the other one. So that will keep the criminals off the streets. And I just thought to myself, man, what a finale to an epic superhero series. Thank God. And then you announced there's a new game coming. I was like, where are they going to go from here? And then you mentioned it's a prequel game. And I thought, okay, that makes sense. Court of Owls. That also makes sense.
Well, also, I think there is room to go forward. Like, at one point, there were plans to make a Superman game. And I was about that too. But it got canceled.
Ah,
So then they were going to do a Damian Wayne game that takes place after Arkham Knight, where you play as Damian as the Batman, and that got canceled. So then we had a Suicide Squad game, which was going to have you play as like Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and everybody, and that got canceled. So now it's this prequel, and if it gets announced tomorrow, we're definitely not going to see it get canceled.
okay. So, moving on, I should say. Is there anything else we need to discuss?
Well, there probably is going to be a trailer, but this one's a little less cool. There's not much prediction about it. The next Mortal Kombat character, which we of course know to be Joker, I think he might get a trailer tomorrow. Probably one of those things that happens before the commercials. I don't necessarily think this would be a world premiere. That being said, the great thing about Game Awards, and E3 has an extension of it, is we don't know what the world premieres are going to be because, spoiler alert, guys, it's world premieres. Like, we have no idea what it is because it's brand new and we get to see it tomorrow. And we have to watch the award show, but I like watching award shows sometimes. I get kind of competitive about nominees, so hopefully I can have some fun with the Game Awards and then get happy when they announce new shit. And also, of course, before we even go into our predictions, if you want to just stop watching here, you can. You don't have to know who we're going to pick. You can save yourself to the reaction video tomorrow. My cat is hitting the curtains.
I've noticed.
They're Moritz! Piss off! All right. So let's go into our predictions. Once again, if you want to stop watching here and just save yourself for the reaction video, go ahead and do that. That is completely fine.
We'll
You already watched the
tomorrow.
video.
Space Cowboy.
See you tomorrow, you sexy little lady. Or man. You sexy little man or lady. You sexy people!
That works. Alright, Game Awards. Here we go.
All right. Got to get the list up.
Just so you know, to those of you who've already done your research, we're skipping certain categories simply because, for some of them, we
don't have
care.
opinions. We don't give a shit. We don't have opinions, so dislike button you can hit. But yeah, we're going through the categories we care about, and some we don't. We got mobile games on here.
Right, we've made a list specifically of the topics that we're going to talk
We're
about.
going to start at the bottom and work our way up to Game of the Year.
Okay, in which case we're starting with, according to our list, Best Role-Playing Game.
Callum McRitchie, would you please read off the nominees?
Okay, the nominees. Hold on, best nominees.
I thought you searched these off camera! Son of a bitch! For the record, I'm not calling you a son of a bitch. I'm just saying son of a bitch to the void.
2019. Right. Nominees. Keep tapping.
I'm waiting.
Keep tapping. Okay, where are you? Nominees.
That made me tired. Do you have the nominees?
It's coming. Here we go. View categories. And okay, here we go. Right, role-playing game. The role-playing game nominees are as follows. Disco Asylum.
Wait, what? Hold on. What, Disco Asylum?
Disco LCM. Sorry, I mispronounced that.
Oh, that's less cool.
Sorry. Final Fantasy X IV. I think it's 15. It's Final Fantasy Car Simulator. I'm calling it that. Next, in Best Role-Playing Game, we have, much to Neil's pleasant surprise, Kingdom Hearts 3. And then we have Monster Hunter World Iceborne. And lastly, The Outer Worlds.
Yeah, I know a lot of people want Outer Worlds to win, but I am personally rooting for Kingdom Hearts 3. It was a short game. It wasn't, it wasn't the greatest. It was short.
It was not a short game. It's hours long.
It was so short.
What do you mean so short?
And a lot of the Disney Plus, it was like maybe 3 hours.
Are you referring to Kingdom Hearts 2.9?
No, I'm talking about Kingdom Hearts 3. It was so short. I'm not the only one who thinks this. There were barely any worlds.
These Japanese RPGs are usually known to be quite long.
But it wasn't. It was short.
Each world is about 2 or so hours long or so.
It wasn't. It was short.
Not from what I've seen.
Look, it was a really short game, and admittedly, the Disney stuff didn't work as much as it has in the past. I remember it took me like 5 hours to play the whole thing, and I wasn't even going that slow.
You're kidding, right? I've seen other games.
I didn't complete everything, but to finish the entire story and do the majority of the side quests, it took me 5 hours.
That's surreal to hear.
No, it's a really short game.
Is it really? I mean, commentators have taken hours to play the game. Maybe they play.
With Let's Players and stuff, they sort of draw it out, and when you're talking and stuff, it takes longer.
I think maybe because they played it on normal or hard as well, or something.
I mean, I do think I played it on normal, but that being said, hard mode I have heard is not that hard.
I guess Sora really has expanded on his abilities. But with that said, I believe there is DLC coming up for Kingdom Hearts 3 as well, called Remind. I have no idea what's going on in the DLC, but it's DLC.
It feels like they're actually doing more with the story in the DLC, and I'm like, you took a while.
I mean, compared to the other games, Kingdom Hearts 3 wasn't really that convoluted. And it was just focusing on, okay, final battle. Here's a crescendo build-up. Here's Xehanort. Bam! Final battle. That's basically the structure of it.
I mean, it was still kind of convoluted. As soon as you implement time travel, everything's convoluted.
Yeah, young Xehanort. They don't focus on that.
I do hope it wins, though, if nothing else, because it was a very beautiful and fun game.
I hope it wins Best Graphics. It's a gorgeous
it's
game.
not going to get Best Graphics. I don't even know.
Oh, yeah, that was for Greece. That's a shame. That's a real shame. I would have nominated for that, because it's amazing how a game so stylized can be so consistent and still look absolutely stunning. There were some scenes where I had my mouth dropped like, whoa.
Oh, yeah, when I was playing this game, I was just like, God damn it, it's beautiful.
Yeah, but I think the highlight for me in terms of, whoa, was the scene where Kairi is writing a letter to Sora, and we're just panning through this forest.
That mountain, that mountain cliff.
The whole forest. I am witnessing art.
Although, if we want to talk about art, we have to bring up Final Fantasy 15. Just because the food in Final Fantasy 15, I've said this before, looks amazing. Like, not even kidding. They put something on there that's literally just a pizza. It's a pizza with a little bit of parsley on it. And I'm just looking at this pizza and I'm like, I gotta go get pizza.
It's amazing how food in games can look better than real life.
I wish Disco Asylum was actually the name of the game, because I would play the shit out of that. Just like an insane asylum, a really gritty insane asylum, but one guy goes in and he's like, I know how to lighten this place up. We gotta bring back the power of dance. And it's like a rhythm game in the insane asylum. It would be great. It would be great.
Like a mixture of The Escapist and Crypt of the Necrodancer. Make it happen.
Make it like a point-and-click adventure, but sometimes there's rhythm game elements for boss battles. I want to escape this asylum, prison guard. Then you must prove you know how to boogie. You are truly the dance master. I will make this if someone gives me money.
Oh, the games we could make if we had enough money. In fact, I have a feeling that at our current budget, we could make a visual novel.
I've talked to Chris about doing that, but first of all, moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
So yeah, our hope, I guess me and Callum agree on this one, so there's no argument to be had. Kingdom Hearts 3, I hope it wins. Yeah. Next is Best Performance.
And the nominees for Best Performance, the best actors, are Ashley Birch as Parvati Holcomb, The Outer Worlds.
That's a big name, but Ashley Birch is always amazing.
Now, that name sounds familiar. Where has she been in again?
She's in a lot of shit. She's in Life is Strange. She's in Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, wait, no, not Horizon Zero.
Let me get this straight.
Is Horizon Zero Dawn the game?
Wasn't Ashley Birch Chloe?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was also Miss Pauling in Team Fortress 2. Yeah, she's great.
I'm going to Google this. I think Horizon Zero Dawn might be the name of a movie, and I'm confusing it with something else.
Yeah, she's a great actress. Good on you.
The one where she plays Aloy.
Yeah.
Horizon
Thank you, Miss Pauling. We're moving on to the next nominee now.
Yeah, what are the other nominees?
Hey, Miss Pauling. Hey,
it is called Horizon Zero Dawn. I was right.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Pauling, I hope you win this. I mean, you look sexy and all, but I hope you win this. Yeah.
You just shouldn't be allowed to say the word sexy.
I was just being scout talking to Miss Pauling because that's who Ashley Birch plays in Team Fortress 2. But anyway, moving on.
All right.
Courtney Hope as Jessie Faden in Control.
Oh, fuck yes. You're like, oh my god. Okay. Not a lot of people have played Control, but Control is a mindfuck game. Like, literally, it's a game where refrigerators can attack you. And it makes complete sense. It's a very serious game. It's one of the best games I've ever played in my life. I really want to do it for the channel, and just might. But holy shit, she sells it. Like, we're in a world that is really convoluted and really strange. And yet, here she is. Here's Jessie making me believe and care about the world. Like, it's just great. I absolutely love her. I hope she wins now.
Yeah,
I really hope she wins. I love
that's the brilliantness of performances. Sometimes they can have the most ridiculous concepts and still take them seriously. Like, whoever played Queen Elizabeth II in the BFG, like, for example, she has to say the most ridiculously childish things, and yet she does it in her serious, queenly personification, and it really works because...
Yeah.
So that's the example of how great performances can be.
Like, listen, I don't want to spoil anything about Control, so I'm not going to say how a refrigerator is a threat, but I'm not kidding. There's this one scene where I won't even say what it is. There's an item, a household appliance, just in a room, and a guy is screaming like, you need to get me some help or I'm going to die in here. You leave the room, come black. The household appliance is covered in blood along with the wall. It is such a strange, amazing, just... Control needs every game award. Every game award.
All right. All the supernatural stuff needs to get the game awards. And the next nominee is Laura Bailey, great voice actress.
Oh, fuck yes.
As Kate Diaz in Gears of War 5.
Yeah, that's another one I kind of want to win. Look, Jessie got me through that game and made it something better, so I want to stick with Control. But Laura Bailey...
played Gears of War 5?
Oh, no, I didn't play Gears of War 5.
All right.
But I've seen stuff, and I know how good... Dude, it's Laura Bailey. She's good in everything.
Oh, yeah. She plays the cat and all these other roles. She's fantastic.
Specifically plays the cat. For Magnum Opus, plays the cat.
I'm just biased because I'm a Sonic fan.
She was in Spider-Man PS4. Fuck that shit. She was in She was in Uncharted 4. Fuck that shit. She is in a Critical Role where she plays this really pivotal character, but plays the motherfucking cat is her swan song.
My time to kiss a cat. Mwah.
I love Laura Bailey. I love her in Critical Role. I love her in everything she's in. Whenever I hear her voice, I'm like, "Oh, Laura." I love all of the Critical Role cast. So if she wins, I'm not going to be disappointed, but everything I said about Control is completely true, and I got to stick with it.
The next nominee is Matthew Porretta as Dr. Casper Darling in Control.
Oh, shit. Okay, he was really cool, too. But, yeah, no, I'm going to stick with Jesse, because, with this guy, he needs to sell you on a lot of shit. Like, he has to tell you a lot of shit, and you got to accept it's part of the world. But with Jessie, she's got to carry you through the world.
There's a difference between an immersive player character and an immersive support character. Sometimes the support characters can outshine the main characters, depending on how good the performance and other aspects are.
Well, the whole thing is Jessie has been, studying this place. She knows enough about it, but she also doesn't know a lot. So she's learning a lot of the stuff along with us. But she also has this understanding where you can kind of get behind her. Like, she's not an idiot running into a blind wall. She's running into something she has a brief knowledge of and is going in for good reason.
Unless you're controlling her, in which case you can make her run into a wall.
Oh, yeah, you could. I mean, player's choice, I suppose. Okay, do we have other nominees? We should try to get through these fast, because I've just been gushing about Control.
Hold on a second. I'll give you a hint about these next two.
Is it Norman Reedus?
Yeah, I was going to say a joke about the fact that you're going under the sea into Norman Reedus' mouth, into a baby's mouth, and then you see Mads Mikkelsen.
Well, I'm glad you watched the Let's Play. But, yeah, no, Normus Reedman, as we have nicknamed him in our playthrough, has been did pretty good. But here's the issue: when I play Control, and I'm comparing it directly to Control because that's the one I want to win.
Right.
I believe in Jesse. I know that's Jesse. When I watch
Norman Reedus,
when I'm doing Death Stranding with Chris, it's just Norman Reedus. If you called him Daryl, I wouldn't have even cared. If you called him Sam, I don't care. It's just Norman Reedus going through all this.
Yeah, basically Death Stranding is pregnant Norman Reedus post-delivery service simulator.
It's really sad that's almost right. That's decently close to what it is.
I mean, I'm sure it's a work of art in its own right. Some people...
Oh, it is. It's a great game, but at the same time, sometimes I'm just like, fuck, what the shit? This isn't a spoiler. You use your bodily fluids as weapons in this game. You can make pee grenades, poop grenades, blood grenades, spit grenades. Ah, no! No, tell him! Tell him, no! Pumbaa, keep it up for the kids. I always thought you were the Timon to my Pumbaa, but...
Pumbaa, not in front of the kids. Oh, sorry.
But Timon! Okay.
And lastly, Mads Mikkelsen himself as Cliff. Wait,
look,
his name is Cliff?
Yeah, his name is Cliff.
Sorry, I find that kind of funny.
Well, I think we called him, asshole soldier or something like that. The thing is, he's really interesting as a villain. We still haven't completed the Let's Play, but I've seen enough to know that Mads Mikkelsen does some freakish shit. And I think I think he would probably deserve to win over Norman Reedus, simply because when Mads Mikkelsen is on screen, I'm not like, that's an actor. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is that?
Okay.
But who do you vote for, Callum? Because my vote is for Jesse.
I honestly don't mind with this one. They're all great in their own right, and if you say that Control deserves all the recognition, then I trust you.
Yeah, but no, but pick one, or I'll shoot you. There's nothing for me to get competitive about if you don't pick.
Let me think. There was all these characters, 2 from Control, 2 from Death Stranding, 1 from Outer Worlds, and another one from Control. Just for the sake of being different, perhaps I should go with... maybe I'll just go with Mads Mikkelsen, just for the heck of it.
I mean, I think him or Laura Bailey would be my second choice.
Right. I mean, I would pick your choice, but just for the sake of being different, I'll just pick Mads Mikkelsen. He was great as well.
I mean, have you seen anything for Control?
No.
Then you don't get to pick my choice. You've at least seen Death Stranding stuff.
Okay, fair enough. But moving on to, speaking of performance relating, narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. The nominees are...
Control.
Yeah, Control. And of course, Death Stranding as well. Alongside... Yeah, Disco Asylum. We're just going to call it Disco Asylum.
No, call it Disco Elysium because I'm making Disco Asylum.
Okay, The Outer Worlds and A Plague Tale: Innocence.
So I don't know anything about A Plague Tale: Innocence, but it sounds wonderful just by that title alone.
Oh yeah, I mean, I haven't played it myself, but from what I've seen, it looks really engaging. This older sister trying to protect her sick younger brother within this corrupt medieval world where the Black Plague is exaggeratingly horrifying with all the rats and all the blood and
The game looks really good, and apparently it's gotten super glowing reviews. So actually, I'm interested.
Aye, best narrative, and obviously the game gets you immersed.
I'm gonna have you pick first. That way, I can pick something else. I'm picking Control.
I think I'm gonna pick A Plague Tale: Innocence because I've noticed that.
Do you know the story? Have you played it? Okay, you don't have to have played it, but do you know the narrative?
No.
Then you can't pick that one.
I should check it out. Yeah. The next one. Let's see. The next one is
So, I picked Control because I think that Control really, it's definitely one of those what the fuck stories, but it actually, it's one of those rare what the fuck the stories that does tell you things. It doesn't tell you everything, but it tells you what you need to know. What is this weird thing that's happening even though I thought this guy was dead? Here's an explanation. What is this thing that's creepy and weird? This is here because it does this. We understand the game and can relate into the world. I don't want to spoil the game, but my God, it gets mindfucky, but you can follow it. You can understand what's going on. And it's really, really cool. And I really, really want more from Control. So I think Control needs all the love in the world.
All right. And speaking of love, we got multiplayer games. And for the nominees, we have Apex. You're still shaking your head.
I disapprove of what you're doing. You said, best narrative. That's one we got to talk about off screen. And then you come into best narrative, you don't have a pick, and then you try to pick one you know nothing about. I'm not okay with it. But go on.
Multiplayer game. Apex Legends.
No.
Borderlands 3.
Maybe.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Hell no.
Ooh, Tetris 99.
Fuck yeah.
And Tom Clancy's The Division 2.
Yeah, that one should probably win.
In which case, I'm picking Tetris 99. That seems like the next step in the Tetris format.
Tetris 99 is basically like... Okay, people are going to hate me for saying it, but I'm going to say it's Fortnite, but with Tetris. It's everybody is playing Tetris in this 100 versus match. So it's really cool and strangely addicting. And Plus, I hear they're like adding DLCs. They're adding a bunch of shit to it. I think it's a really cool pick. I do, however, have to say that Borderlands 3, with its narrative, probably deserves to win over all of these.
Yeah. And next, this is not really a category we're not really that passionate about. However, there is one game that's caught my attention, and I hope it wins.
Specifically, Callum's attention. I don't give a fuck about any of this. I'll say what I want to win, but you're not going to get a good reason for it.
So, for mobile game, there's all sorts of games you shouldn't really care about, but there is this one game made by that game company. And when I say that game company, it's literally entitled That Game Company. I kid you not.
I assumed and hoped.
So, for those of you who don't know, that game company has made these art games, and the most significant and recognizable game is Journey for the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. It's a game
considered to be art by most game players.
Oh yes, one of the high forms of art in terms of video gaming narrative, with its minimal style and its philosophical narrative when you look deeply into it, apparently about life and death and rebirth and heaven and all sorts of stuff. And their next game is called Sky, Children of the Light. This is a game where you go around, you light candles, you're on this journey, and you fly around. And it's multiplayer, apparently. I should get to play it myself.
But is it mobile game exclusive?
Apparently, yeah. But I'll play it. I'll let you know.
I don't like it. But what are the other nominees for this category?
Okay. Oh, okay. You want to hear them anyway? Okay.
Yeah, so I can pick one.
Okay. For the best mobile game, we also have What the Golf. We have Sayonara Wild Hearts. That's appearing in various nominations here. Grindstone. And, oh, for goodness sakes, Call of Duty Mobile.
I'm gonna pick What the Golf. Because that sounds funny.
Yeah, quite right. Okay, so mobile games. Next category, independent game. This is where it gets particularly interesting.
Indie games, bitch!
Woohoo! Alright, here we go. For these nominations, we have Baba Is You, a very quirky puzzle game. Disco Elysium.
You know, Disco Elysium keeps popping up. I really wonder if this is actually a really, really good game that I've just taken inspiration from and now want to do Disco Asylum.
Katana Zero, Outer Wilds, and one that you mentioned.
Worlds.
Yeah, No, this one says Outer Wilds. Independent.
What the fuck?
This is independent game. Outer Worlds is not independent.
I mean, you're right, but those are so similar titles.
Quite right. And the last one is one that you mentioned, Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah, that one should probably win just for the lols. Look, I don't actually know what Disco Elysium is. I don't know anything about it. So if it is this really good game because it keeps popping up, please tell me. I'd love to look into it and maybe even play it for the channel or something. But I know Untitled Goose Game, and it has brought me a lot of fun. I really wish that my friend Pedro was up there, or Deltarune. But hey, Deltarune's not finished yet, and my friend Pedro got nominated for the Subway thing that we're not talking about. So, you know.
Yeah, we're not doing sponsors, I'm afraid.
All right, next.
Next, this is a particularly interesting one. We got Games for Impact. The games are going to make an impact.
So, fun fact, for the majority of them, we did a little read-through for the nominees and got an idea of what we might pick. Just a short little read-through. We didn't do it for best performance or this topic.
Okay, in which case, games for impact are Concrete Genie, which I believe is for the PlayStation systems and is quite cute and emotionally quirky, yeah. We have Grease, this beautiful watercolor platformer game, which I'll get into playing at some point.
And you plan to talk more about later because you actually hoped it would win a different nomination. But go ahead.
Kind Words.
Different category, I mean. Go ahead.
The Kind Words, that's the game.
Mhm.
We have Life is Strange 2, absolutely adored the first game. And lastly, Seas of Solitude.
I got really into Life is Strange too. Like it's not a direct sequel to Life is Strange 1, which kind of pissed me off.
You can kind of play them separate. They're just separate stories these seasons.
Yeah, they're very separate stories. I think the connecting line, and spoiler alert for the first episode if you haven't seen it, 3, 2, 1, they are connected in the sense that somebody gets superpowers
like
and
supernatural,
the story is about dealing with it.
Like supernatural powers, and they're trying to learn how to cope with it. It seems to be amongst the youth.
But they sort of take a very different route than with season 1. The powers are very different. And the story itself is like night and day. Like they're so different. But I really I haven't played the last episode of Life is Strange 2 yet. But from what I have played, Jesus Christ, it gets weird. Like it gets not even weird. Like I'm not, I like how in modern day weird doesn't mean what it means in the past, because in the past weird meant something not normal. But now weird means talking raccoons and trees in space.
I am Groot.
But it definitely goes down roads that are not normal and kind of, well, actually, the saddest part is some of them are very normal. And it's not what you expect. Like, there's one scene where the kid with powers is taken into a church and a bad person uses him to manipulate people into thinking he's the Messiah.
Whoa. Oh, nice. Yeah, Life is Strange does get into some taboo topics. And, I mean, yikes, it talks about suicide, it talks about friendship and all that good stuff. And
it talks about some dark stuff.
Yeah.
More. But that being said, there's always a really good narrative that makes you interested and some good characters that make you care.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm not going to argue that the characters are as memorable as Sam and Chloe. What was the main character of Life is Strange named Sam? I think she was named Sam.
I think it's Max, I believe.
Oh, it is Max. You're right. Sorry. I knew it was a name that could be both girls and males.
Yeah.
So it's Max and Chloe. They're not as memorable as Max or Chloe.
But they do make an impact.
Said, they are still very deep characters, and it's very interesting to see all the choices you can do with them.
And how they impact them, yeah.
So I think Life is Strange is definitely my vote for this.
Yeah, definitely. So, let's see. We did games for impact. Now for game direction.
I'm honestly surprised Control wasn't really an impact game.
Well, it is in game direction, apparently. So,
all right.
We have Control, Death Stranding, of course, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and Outer Wilds.
So, Control is really interesting. It takes you to this place. I don't want to spoil anything, but you're in this building the entire time. I won't say the name of the building because that's also a little bit of a spoiler. But it's just they take so much and make it so good. They really play with this world, and they play with your mind and question what you're thinking. Because of that, I really love... what's the topic again? Is it art design, or what is it?
Game direction.
Okay, game direction. I really love the game direction of this game. However, I cannot continue to shit on Death Stranding when this comes up, because holy fucking shit. You plug a baby into yourself to avoid invisible monsters that can aid you and make whales appear. How can I not vote for Death is Stranding here?
Especially
Death Stranding. Why am I saying Death is Stranding? Death Stranding.
because death is stranding. Especially when there's a scene where you're under the sea and you go into Norman Reedus' mouth and you go into his pregnant baby and you go into the baby's mouth and you see Max Nicholson.
That's not even the weirdest scene in that game, believe it or not.
Hideo Kojima, the creator of...
There's another scene which is basically that same scene, but before we go in the baby's mouth, there's a shot of the baby's butt first, and then we go in the baby's mouth.
Okay.
So just add all of that. Just take the whole thing where it's like, oh, I went in Norman Reedus' mouth, then I went in a baby's mouth, and I found Mads Nicholson. Take all that, plus... oh, before I did all that, I saw the baby's ass. It makes it weirder.
Hideo Kojima, the creator of Metal Gear Solid, cinematic gaming masterpiece of a franchise, has now gone on to do something very trippy, but also artsy.
I mean, I want to pick Control. Here's the thing. You can see it in my eyes. I want to pick Control because Control has such game design, great game direction, and it's just so trippy. But I'm so sorry. I've got to pick Death Stranding for this. Like, holy fuck!
Indeed. So that's game direction, and let's see. The next category is fighting game.
Here we go.
All right. And the nominees for Best Fighting Game are Dead or Alive 6, Jump Force, Anime Fans Unite, Mortal Kombat 11, Joker You'll Be Happy, Samurai Showdown, and, of course, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
You know, I find it interesting that there are two games that both have a character named Joker in them in this.
Oh, yeah.
Smash Bros. And Mortal Kombat. Listen.
People just like a few jokes, I suppose.
Look, a lot of people don't like Jump Force. Actually, first of all, I need to talk about this. I need to. People of the Power Rangers Battle for the Grid community, I agree. It should have been nominated. Listen, there were a lot of people who were surprised it wasn't nominated because it's a really good game, and apparently people really hated Jump Force. So I am here telling you people, I want it too. Because Power Rangers Battle for the Grid is one of my favorite fighting games ever. And it's not even because it's Power Rangers. It's just really fun. That being said, I will move on from Power Rangers Battles for the Grid. The true winner of this category... Nah, Smash Brothers wouldn't beat it.
But it should have replaced Jump Force.
I mean, I like Jump Force. I like the idea of Jump Force. I think it's cool. I enjoyed the little bit I've played of it. I like Power Rangers better. Mortal Kombat 11. I feel like everybody can probably assume this is going to be the winner. I mean, Mortal Kombat, there's a lot of controversy with the microtransactions, and there's a lot of controversy with the story. But at least it has a story, and also it is like, I hate to bring this up, but a lot of people say that Smash Brothers isn't actually a fighting game. It's a farting game, I almost say. A fighting game. They say it's a party game. And I don't know if I agree with that, but I definitely think I can agree that when compared to Mortal Kombat, they're very different games, and Mortal Kombat is definitely a fighting game. That being said, I really want Smash Bros. To win this, just because, well, first of all, look at it!
Everyone's here.
Everyone's here. Has a very, I think it's Lil Nige, I think is the channel's name. Has his song says, I never thought I would live to see Cloud straight up murder King Dedede. And yeah. We can literally have a situation where, like, what is Simon Belmont with a tanuki tail and bunny ears is fighting a piranha plant who has a fire flower in its hand, while Yoshi is fighting the Duck Hunt dog. That is a sentence that shouldn't be able to be said.
As much as the going into the baby's mouth conundrum with their standing.
I mean, look, Smash Brothers is one of my favorite games. It's literally the foundation of the majority of my friendships. So, hey, Smash Bros. Ultimate is definitely my reward.
Depending on how you define by friendships, ruining and constructing them at the same time.
Oh no. Like, whenever I would, like, hang out with friends, all of us had Smash Bros. So that would be, like, the friend game. Like, we'd practice at home, we'd meet up together, and we'd all face each other. Definitely, it's the foundation of, like, I probably wouldn't be nearly as close with Chris or Skylar if Smash Bros. Wasn't a thing.
I'm gonna murder your ass! We're best friends now.
Well, at this point, we've reached the point where we know who's really good at the game, so whenever, like, we face those people, we accept we might lose. Me and Skylar are the two best.
Out of curiosity, who are your mains? Who are your main characters?
I have, like, 10. I have 10 that I would call my mains, and then I have second. I'll give you 5. Duck Hunt is my number 1 best character in the game. Bowser Jr. is my second. Pac-Man is my third. Then 4th is Rob the Robot, and 5th is Roy. Fire Emblem Roy. Koopa Troopa Roy.
And Chris's and Skylar's?
You want me to go for... Okay, Skylar's main is Zero Suit Samus. His second best character is Fox, and then Lucario. Chris's top 3 are Chrom, the Hero, the new DLC, of course, being the Hero, and, hold on, Bayonetta.
Alright. And as for me...
Who are your mains?
My mains are Samus, Captain Falcon, Meta Knight, I know, you can hate me, Mii Fighter, and Sonic the Hedgehog, especially Sonic.
I do hate you for picking Mii Fighter.
Oh, I thought you were going to hate me for
Which
Meta
Mii
Knight.
Fighter? Brawler or Sword Fighter? Or...
I've pretty much customized myself a Sword Fighter, but customization is fun in general, really. I thought you were going to hate me for Meta Knight.
Meta Knight isn't as good anymore. He got nerfed.
Seriously, nerfed.
Okay, so for fighting game, I think we both want Smash.
Yeah. And now, moving on to the next topic. Let's see what it is. Oh yes, family game. And guess who dominates the entire category?
Yeah, I think I made this joke to Callum earlier, where I was like, I really hope Microsoft wins this one.
If only there was some other company that's been a worldwide sensation since the...
If only there
80s.
was a gaming company that specifically targets family gameplay. I wouldn't know which one it is or anything. So I still vote for Smash Bros. Specifically. Again, don't know which game company. Smash Bros. Game Company. Smash Bros. Game Company. Nintendo has all of these. They're all Nintendo. Nintendo is going home with an award. Confirmed. All right, read the noms, though. We have to pick which Nintendo.
That's like Pixar at the awards. They win every time. Anyway, so Ultimate, of course. We also have Ring Fit Adventure, the new Wii Fit. We got Luigi's Mansion 3. We got Super Mario Maker 2. And Yoshi's Crafted World.
So here's the thing. I'm not going to vote for Smash Brothers because I hope it wins Best Fighting Game. So because of that, I'm going to vote for something else here. I want Luigi's Mansion to win because holy fucking shit, that game had no right to be as good as it was. Like, I remember saying, I'm going to play this on Halloween. I did. It's magnificent. There isn't a big story to it, but the little story that is there is kind of okay. Like, there are some things that happen that you're not really expecting. Like, some people get turned into paintings that you wouldn't think are going to get turned into paintings. And there's a few twists and turns here, but the boss fights are fun, the entire game is interesting, and the Gooigi mechanic really makes everything just the extra mile. So I'm voting for Luigi's Mansion 3. Callum, you pick one.
Let's see. Might as well go away from Ultimate for a little while because we already know that's overhyped and it's
If you copy me again, I'll cut off your nose. I'm gonna go look out my window, and when I come back, you better be different.
I might as well pick Super Mario Maker 2 because this took the concept of the first game, which wasn't perfect, but did produce an excellent concept, and they managed to expand it and make it even better. They've added in some new features. They've added in. I picked Super Mario Maker 2. They added in new features, new mechanics. They made it better and more understandable. They understood the game design mindset even more, even with the tutorials. Like, hey, that's not fair. You should make it more like this. Make it more like that. They give better hints and tips. So it's a big improvement, and the fact that this game is going to impact the way we see future platforming games, I'm calling it the best because I think it's the most influential, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
I mean, we got the creator of Celeste to make a few courses in Super Mario Maker 2, so that says a lot. And if you played Celeste, he made,
Mm.
precise, hard on nails platforming games, and his were very creative. Celeste is a phenomenal game.
Plus, they're getting that Legend of Zelda DLC coming out where you can turn Mario into Link and it's like a completely different game. So I think that's going to be cool.
All right. So with that said, the next category I believe is art direction, presented by Samsung Cloud. We don't care about advertisements, but
Stop
there
sponsoring my categories.
you go. For art direction, we have big surprise, Control and Death Stranding. We have Grease, beautiful game. Sayonara Wild Hearts, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and speaking of Zelda, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, the cute one.
Now, I bet everybody was thinking, Neil, you seem to talk about a lot about art direction during the game direction thing when you gave it to Death Stranding. So why didn't you talk about it here? Because Control should win this.
I think there's a difference between art direction and game direction. When you're referring to game
There
direction,
definitely
yeah.
I'm saying it attributes to gameplay. It attributes to my views of what game direction is fully what the game is, like where the narrative goes, where the direction of the art style is, and stuff like that, like how it all affects the game. That's my views. So when it comes to art direction, it's just the art, and when it comes to game direction, and you have everything stacked against it, I think that in terms of the flow of the story, in terms of how the environment affects the world around it, and in terms of everything else, yeah, Death Stranding is the better game.
Aye.
But when it comes to stuff like art direction, here's the thing, I still think Death Stranding wins. But I think that Control has some really trippy art and some really interesting things. That being said, Death Stranding is better because it's different. It's really weird. It's like taking the Mad Hatter and putting him up against the Joker. One is crazy, but one is crazy entertaining and one in the best way.
Which one though? Anyway.
Death Stranding is the Joker in this situation, because I believe Death Stranding would kill me. Control, I think it would also kill me, but it would kill me a little slower.
Quite right.
That being said, I love Control. I love Control.
Okay. Well, prepare to fantasize about Control again, because we're entering the action-adventure game category, and the nominees are, big surprise, Control and Death Stranding, alongside Borderlands 3, Resident Evil 2, the cute Zelda game, and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
I'm actually gonna vote for Control. I was gonna say Resident Evil 2 because I really liked Resident Evil 2. But Control was really good. Like, I voted for Control so many times, and I remember saying, I don't want to vote for Smash Bros. Ultimate. I want to vote for something else. Even though I wouldn't be upset if Smash Bros. Won. But that being said, Control was so good that it feels wrong to vote for other things.
Now, keep in mind, it says the best action-adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving, so just keep that in mind.
I still say Control because there's so much in it. Like, it really is a trippy game where essentially with all of this, understanding it is part of one of the puzzles, and putting the narrative together in your own head, I feel like, is part of the fun. But another thing with it is just the gameplay really holds you in. I will say that I say this kindly, one of the least like interesting parts of Control is the gameplay, because at first it's just sort of a shooter. It gets better and better as the game keeps going, and you get force-like powers, and it's really fucking cool. It's awesome. But I mean, I don't think the gameplay of Death Stranding is necessarily like so great. Like, I think it's cool, but Death Stranding's gameplay has to be like the most boring part, right? Like, the coolest part is the world and everything in it. Death Stranding is still fun, and I've been playing it on the channel, and it's really fun. But, well, Chris is playing it, and I'm sort of there as emotional support. But when you put it up against Control, like, just Control takes a minute to take off, but when it does, it takes off hard.
Pew!
Like, in terms of gameplay. In terms of the adventure you're going on, holy fuck.
I suppose.
You had to pick something, Callum. We need competitive. We need to fight. We need to fight.
There's Resident Evil 2, the Cute Zelda, and the Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I think those ones focus more on the puzzle elements, but then again, I think Control does as well.
Boy, you don't know shit about Control. Don't try to justify your reasoning for not picking Control. You just pick not Control, and then we'll fight.
I think I'll just pick one that has the most puzzle elements, because those are important to these kinds of games as well.
Well, that would probably be Zelda Awakening, right? Link's Awakening.
Sure, and maybe I'll just throw Resident Evil 2 in there perhaps as well.
Yeah, I mean, if either wins, I'm not going to be upset.
Yeah,
as long as Control wins something.
And the next category is action game, just straight up action. And for the nominees, we have Apex Legends, Astral Chain, for goodness sake, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Devil May Cry 5, Gears of War 5, and Metro Exodus.
So I actually really fucking liked Astral Chain. It's like Bayonetta meets Xenoblade. It's really fucking cool. I love it. It's really fucking awesome. So I'm actually going to be the guy who votes for Astral Chain, a game that a lot of people probably didn't play.
All right.
Although Gears of War is still dope as fuck.
And the last category, of
you
course.
Keep not picking.
Oh, I don't know which one to pick. They're all kind of bad.
What do you mean they're bad? Gears of War, Astral Chain? Come on, man!
I mean, Astral Chain, I'm sure that's a great game. But you picked it, so I have to pick some of the other ones. I heard
Gears of War is good!
Gears of War 5. Oh, I heard that was mediocre alongside Metro Exodus and Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I haven't played these games, I've just heard that people complain about them.
Okay.
So...
Alright, you don't have to pick if you don't want to.
Thank you.
It's gonna make it harder to take bets. I want to take your Scottish money.
The pounds. Might as well take your American dollars to save myself a good trip to Florida or something. Anyway, and last but not least, Game of the Year.
Wait, did we skip Best Score?
Oh, I think we did. Alright, score and music. Here we go. Cadence of Hyrule, the Zelda DLC pack for Crypt of the Necrodancer. We got Death Stranding, it's got some nice relaxing music. Devil May Cry 5, Kingdom Hearts 3, and Sayonara Wild Hearts.
What were the last three options again?
Sayonara Wild Hearts, Kingdom Hearts 3, Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah, no, I think I have to give it to Devil May Cry 5.
Do explain.
I love Kingdom Hearts, and there's a lot of really good orchestra music, some that will make me cry. But, holy fucking shit. I mean, when it comes to Devil May Cry, like, I'm a metal guy, and every song makes you feel like you're in a battle. Every song really carries what it's supposed to carry. And it just really elevates the game a little bit. Like, if the soundtrack wasn't there, I wonder if the song would have been just as good. Like, the game would have been as good. And I don't think it would have been. I definitely question that in my head.
Sometimes
So
the music can ruin the scene. Sometimes in games like this, it can really enhance the mood. Like Escape from
it
the
definitely
City in
enhances
Sonic
the game.
Adventure 2, or Rules of Nature in Metal Gear Rising, I think it was called. Kingdom Hearts 3, that had great melodies. It had 2 new songs by what's her name? What's it?
Face My Fears.
Yeah, Face My
is
Fears.
Really good.
Face My Fears and Don't Think Twice. Those were 2 fantastic songs. Face Your Fears, it really gets you pumped up with the game. Perfect for this grand finale of the Xehanort saga. Don't Think
I
Twice.
remember when
emotional one. Yeah.
When I first heard Face My Fears, I was like, oh, no, this isn't as good as the other ones. But it slowly grew on me, and I was like, God, I love this song.
Yeah, it's not the same.
It's a really good song.
I'm not the biggest fan of dubstep, but it kind of works because, it's Kingdom Hearts, and I've heard orchestrated versions, and yeah, it really does get you pumped up for a big finale. It's great.
Did we talk about Best Narrative?
I believe we did. I might as well go through it again just to
Just go for the nominees, just so I remember.
Okay.
Because we might have.
Best Narrative. Okay, Best Narrative.
I think we did, and I picked Control.
I picked Plague Tale. Yeah.
Yeah, we did. You don't know anything about Plague Tale!
So, without further ado, just so you know, if you're going to vote for these nominees, just don't think twice. Don't think twice. Anyway, and now for Game of the Year. And the Game of the Year nominations are... Neil, take a wild guess.
Boom.
Boom. Boom is in there.
Boom.
It's like that scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail when Lancelot's delaying his running. And the guard just standing like...
Boom. No, I'm giving you dramatic music as you read the nominations. Boom. Boom. Here, watch. Boom. 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 Boom.
We're just gonna troll everyone who's watching this.
And just not read them. Bye, everybody.
Bye. End the video. No. The categories are The Outer Worlds, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, Resident Evil 2, and the next 3. Take a wild guess, Neil.
Boom. The next 3 are Control, boom, Death Stranding, boom, and Smash Bros. Ultimate, boom.
Correct! Yeah!
Look, I would absolutely love Smash Bros. Ultimate to win this. If it wins, I will smile, but compared to everything else, I just don't think it's possible. Like, I would absolutely love it if they go, Smash Bros. Ultimate! And I get to scream, yeah! And be all excited. But honestly, I think we got to go by narrative and everything. So, of course, I gave best narrative to Control. I gave best gameplay to Control. I gave best pretty much everything to Control. So, obviously, I'm gonna have to give this one to Death Stranding, just like how in last year's Game Awards they gave Red Dead everything, but then gave Game of the Year to God of War. So I picked Death Stranding. I pick Control. Control. Look, I've already said everything I can say. The game is amazing. It's spectacular. It takes you on a trip and you get to understand it. And it takes gaming in a direction that is so trippy and so new and so strange that I can't help but
falling in love with Control.
It's really, really good. Callum, do you have a pick? This is the big one.
This is the big one. You've already picked Control. Chances are it's probably not going to be Resident Evil 2 or Sekiro or The Outer Worlds. It's undoubtedly going to be...
Well, we're allowed to agree, but you don't know anything about Control, so if you pick it, you shut it!
So, Death Stranding, Hideo Kojima's recent experiment of a game, as well as Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Just the fact that everybody's here, that alone is worth Game of the Year.
Everyone's here.
Everywhere you look, everywhere you look.
I might actually put it in the comments. There is this song called Smash Bros. Everyone is Here. I think it's by the channel Little Niche, and there are so many good lines of it. My favorite one is where they're talking about adding new versions of characters, and they go, and like 40 different links, everyone's here.
And with that, I think we'll end it here, and we will see you tomorrow. Oh, are we going to react to it, or are we reacting after this?
Well, we're going to react to it, but
okay.
First of all, I think we should give our final thoughts on the Game Awards, how happy we would be if stuff got announced, and just talk about video gaming a little bit. Talk about the Game Awards as a whole. How do you feel about the Game Awards, Kevin?
It's good to have these games get the recognition they deserve, especially with awards.
That it?
Yeah, that's it.
I think the Game Awards is better than most award shows, strictly because, like, when you watch... Okay, the two award shows I watch are the Tonys and the Game Awards. And the reason I watch the Tonys is because they do Broadway performances during the show.
Oh, yes.
And they are trying to promote other Broadway shows. So because of that, of course I want to watch the Tonys so I can see those performances. And I watch the Game Awards because they announce new games and stuff and really honor gaming as a whole. So of course I'm going to watch the Game Awards, like, obviously. So I think that in this slew of award shows that I really fucking don't want to see, I'm glad that the Game Awards is bringing something... Like, I know everyone likes to shit talk the Game Awards, but I really am happy that they're bringing something that, we don't really get. Like, it's mixing E3 in with an award show, and, I love E3. I consider it a holiday, so... I'm really hopeful that the Game Awards will be great.
Especially when it brought along the flight simulator.
Yeah. That shit.
Anyway, I think that's all that needs to be said. We will see you all tomorrow.
Yeah, then.
Sayonara. We shall
You
see
sexy
who wins.
people.
Brother. We shall see.
It'll be me. I actually picked shit.
Shall see.
That's an eyeball. Those are, you have crow's feet.
And